Good morning. Julia Jordan, your very favorite real estate agent out of my beautiful backyard. Look at my new flowers. Aren't the hibiscus amazing? I wanted to chat with you real quick about a situation, um, and how do I call it? Like fiduciary duty of a real estate agent. So when this recession, and if you don't know, there's a recession going on right now, and we have mega inflation, you probably heard. Um, when this started or was coming up and was getting into sight, several friends called me and said, Julia, what do I do? I'm on the verge of panicking. Can you look at my numbers? Can you look at my expenses? Can you look at my income if I'm fine or if I should sell the house right now? Interest rates were already on the rise. So I said, look, girl, look, guy, if you can buckle down, if you guys can hold it together for another 2, 3 years, you probably will be fine. My personal expectation is that we will always appreciate in real estate, but like in stocks or so, there might be a little tank here and there, like 2009. But overall, the appreciation always went strongly up because overall in Houston area, we have low inventory, and we do. They're building like apartments right now like crazy. That is the stuff that got permitted maybe 2, 3 years ago. The funds were raised 2, 3 years ago at the very beginning of COVID. And now it is changing. We have apartment complexes coming up everywhere. So if you talk about this whole investing in multifamily thing, watch out that there might not be a surplus. That's my personal expectation. But getting back to several clients that asked me, should I sell or should I not sell? So I gave them my best advice. The good thing is when you have an agent that is not desperate and hungry for the next commission, we can give honest advice. So I looked at their situation. I'm like, man, my friend, you have great income. You have a little bit in savings. Your job is super solid. You worked there the last 7 years, 10 years. I think you should be fine. But if you panic, if you think you will be panicked, then you should be selling now because you don't want to sell when everybody has to sell. And that's a little bit of thing what I'm seeing right now coming up because people are maxing out their credit cards. And if that happens to too many people, and honestly, it happens in all price ranges, when that happens to too many people, the only way for people to pay off credit cards is to sell their home at one point, right? They already have a car payment, they have whatever kind of monthly expenses. And then on top of that, some of them are seeing a divorce, a spouse passed, they had twins. They had 3 more babies because it was COVID. They had nothing better to do. They made babies. So they have other expenses. And now somewhere the money has to come from. Inflation makes day-to-day life more expensive. I mean, I almost fainted when I filled my gas tank at Kroger. Like I was almost at $4 for the premium juice. Like, hello? So you guys make your little check mark correct in November, please. Um, what was I saying? So the only point at one point where people can get their money out is their equity. And most people do have amazing equity because home values are not tanking. So we have certain areas where it's a little bit plateauing or it takes us a second longer to sell houses. I still sell houses like sliced bread. If you have a property that is not selling and you're on the market 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 500 months, maybe it's time to rip off the band-aid and switch agents. You would need to terminate the agreement where it is not working. Your agent told you, I will sell your house. For some reason, it's not working. And a top agent can only help you when it's fully terminated and then start from scratch. We're not interfering with anyone who's listed poorly. Okay, we cannot. Code of ethics, I will not touch it. I will not touch it. I will watch it from the distance though. Um, so what happens now is that exactly that is happening to some of my peeps. We talked 2, 3 years ago. I said, hey, you guys buckle down. And it is not that they lost the job due to the recession. What was the initial conversation? We were afraid that people lose their job, but no one could expect this kind of inflation, this kind of insurance basically doubled and it's eating people alive. And those two things, I feel like they were a little bit unexpected for home buyers. And that's why I always say, if you want to buy a home, be solid. I mean, at the end of the day, you're an adult and you can do whatever you want to do. And I will educate you. And after that, I let you make your amazing or poor decisions. But I always am not a friend of having people totally maxed out. They can buy up to 308 and then we let them buy a house for 308 and they are like, after that they're maxed out, they're dropping their last penny on the down payment, and then every penny after they earn they put into their mortgage. what means like they have a little roof damage and a co-payment, or whatever, the water heater goes out and it's $1,500 and it's killing them, or the AC goes out, or a major repair, and it's just totally it's wrecking their life. It's taking their peace, you know. So but what we do see is people do maxing out their credit cards due to just life expenses going up, and at one point they have to pay it off. You don't want to carry a credit card balance 30k, 60k, 100k, and we do see that, and it's so sad. So you don't want to carry that for too long. It's eating you alive. In like 2 to 3 years, your debt doubles because of it's robbery. It's modern day robbery, and you can't get into it. So what you got to do is at one point you got to sell the house, get the equity out, find a cheaper solution. Sometimes new home builders are a very good solution because the interest rate is very low, so you can get into a cheaper home price bracket. You got a brand new house, hopefully no repairs anytime soon. Just watch it, because if you have to do an emergency sale on that house, now you're competing with a builder. So that is another thing that you need to watch out. Okay, and again, full education, you need to know what you're doing. But be always very careful to not max yourself out, and always have multiple exits in case you have to get rid of the purchase. Okie dokie. So that was my 2 cents on a happy, beautiful weather Monday morning. If you are in financial distress, let's have a conversation. It's always good to have the conversation right away. I will not force you to do a transaction. And I will try my very best to give you honest, good advice as if it would be my own bank account, my own property. Hopefully, I'm never pushy. If we have to be heavy on the gas, I'm definitely the one to knock out things super fast because we have our processes in place. It's not because I want to be pushy on you, but sometimes my clients call in and say, we got to rip off the band-aid like this month or next month. And I have some of those coming up because they basically don't have the money anymore to keep the lights on or whatever, buy the kids summer shoes. Okie dokie. If you have any real estate questions, 832-444-4923. I would love to share it with you and give you my advice and my 2 cents on your situation, and hopefully we will give you guys a happy ending. Okay, thank you. Bye bye. Happy Monday.